Welcome. This is David Boles' Human Meme. Today, of wealth and the starless eye. Losing is easy. We do it often, even if we aren't aware of the loss. Winning is slightly more tricksy because you can't be too happy or too glum in the victory. Sure, there are boors among us who will scream and rub your nose in any small success. That's the first clue. They aren't used to winning and that they want to grab that great fleeting moment of superiority before it wafts back into the ether, never to be found by them again, ever. If you win, be graceful and thoughtful and humble. Act as if everything you do is a win, and you're used to winning, and you don't need to rub your ego in public on other people to feel superior about yourself. Today's major sports figures all win ugly. There is cheering and jumping and howling, all from the athletes. Is there an athlete around today, professional or amateur, who quietly celebrates a win with a simple thanks and not an outstanding progression? I am reminded of my old football coach, who hated public displays of superiority. He considered celebrations during a game ugly and unsportsmanlike. He told us to do one of two things when we score a touchdown: hand the ball to the official, or place the ball gently in the end zone and walk back to the bench. Our teammates would congratulate, but not hoot or jump or holler or make fun of the other team after the score. Winning was a business to be rooted, not a game to be exploited. Uninvolved watchers should not be able to know if you are winning or losing, because each side demands the same intention. You are in control and ready to set the next example. Winners and losers should never cry or yell or leap. Just be calm and keen and let others do your celebrating. Because every winner begets a fan and every loser wins a hater. It's all part of the cycle of discovery and imprudence, and how you choose to play your role in that circle tells all. An old school friend of mine was born a winner. She had wealth and education and experience. Everything she touched shone, because she, herself, was golden, and she didn't care, and she didn't brag about it. The one thing that bothered her was her last name. It was an ugly-sounding name that called up hawks and demons and fire pits when spoken aloud. And those who knew that about her would sometimes speak her last name around her, out loud, just to bother her. Because other than that one odd weakness, she was untouchable by birth. After she finished her basic college schooling, she traveled the world looking for happiness and fulfillment. She didn't want children or a family. She wanted an important job in the world that would mean something to her. Years of wandering left her quiet and disappointed. She still wanted everything, but not herself. So she settled for a rich man and a famous name that knackered her own, and she bore this inherited wealth husband many children. Her children are just as spectacular as she. They are physical specimens of the definition of beauty, and they have every educational opportunity and avenue available for mind-body enrichment. But when you meet them, they aren't kind and gentle people. There's an iciness to their not implied but factual superiority. There's no need to ask about their happiness, because happiness to them is transient and doesn't matter. It's non-transactional. Those children have an inborn duty to self and honor to family. They have standing in their community by right of birth, and they will be able to muster any angel or demon they wish in order to fulfill their wishes on the earth and in the heavens. My friend, their mother, did not raise her children. She left that to the professional hired help, because she still wanted the important life she craved, to be seen as powerful and important in the world on her own terms, not because of her upward marriage status. And she had money and a right husband and standing, and yet she was absolutely nothing of what she used to be. Because the winner she was when I knew her had diminished into expectation and delivery, where admiration turned to pity, and the promise of a future took on a spirit rot, as she could not find her winning way on her own. On the outside, and in every facade, she is happy and well and surrounded by wealth and status. But when you catch her eye glinting in the morning sun, you see the moon and a darkness that only allows a starless sky to shine. And you wonder how such a winner came into being something lesser, and something hollow, and something so fallow she never would have wished upon her younger self. My friend quietly realizes, without confession, that she has become nothing outside the shadow of her husband. And for an innate winner, that must be a hard reality to find hitting you in the mirror every day, as every bounce and reflection shines back on him and not her. What she once owned outright, her righteous, autonomous self, was uptraded for a higher mark and a lower dependency. And in that bargain, she lost the soul of herself. And the tragic part of this bit of common human terror is that it is circular and shall inevitably be visited upon her children. Not for the want of trying, but because the world spins equally in the measure of misery against time. All things flow, and all things fail. And some would not care against that bargain for the comfort and safety provided, but she cares. because you're never safe in a trade like that. Because there's always the unspoken but very real threat of losing everything in a divorce or in a cheating affair. And so your job is to sit there and look pretty and be the broodmare and wait for the other hoof to drop. You can see everything in the raw gray of her once radiant smile. And so this is where winning and losing collide. Definitions became more vague and less refined. Success is always this and never that, until the world hits you in the face with a shovel of indifference and loathing, and spins everything around to make you face the other way and vote against your own best blessings. Sometimes we have to pity the winner and cheer the loser, because we can't really know the status of one without the invocation of the other. And thus we never really know the motivation for winning and losing until the head touches the grave and the game is over. Thank you for listening. Be a human meme.